Did you know that 1 in 200 men alive today are direct descendants of Genghis Khan? That's not a myth, but a staggering reality rooted in one man's unparalleled rise to power and influence. Genghis Khan, the legendary Mongol conqueror, reshaped the world in ways most cannot even fathom. But his legacy goes far beyond the borders of his once great empire. It exists in bloodlines, in culture, and in history. Genetic legacy. Let's dive into the genetic footprint that Genghis Khan left on humanity. In the early 2000s, geneticists uncovered something remarkable, a specific Y chromosome lineage that seemed to be shared by millions of men across Central Asia. This lineage could be traced back to one source, one man, Genghis Khan. Through conquest, leadership, and expansion, Genghis didn't just spread his empire across continents, he also spread his genes. Historians estimate that Genghis Khan had hundreds of wives and concubines, women from every corner of his empire. This wasn't random, this was a strategic move to solidify his influence, politically and biologically. By fathering countless children with women from different tribes, nations, and regions, Genghis ensured that his bloodline would continue to thrive for centuries. But how does one man's genes survive through such a vast swath of the population? The answer lies in the way Genghis structured his empire. He didn't merely conquer, he created lasting systems of control. His sons, grandsons, and great-grandsons were given rule over large portions of the Mongol Empire. These heirs, in turn, followed in their father's footsteps, spreading their family's bloodline far and wide. Over time, the sheer number of descendants grew exponentially. Today, around 16 million men share Genghis Khan's Y chromosome. That's the equivalent of the entire population of several nations. To put this in perspective, Genghis Khan didn't just create an empire, he became a biological legacy that continues to live on through millions of descendants. Women and power. To truly understand the magnitude of Genghis Khan's genetic legacy, we must first explore his relationship with women. Genghis was not a man of fleeting romances, his marriages were deeply strategic. Every wife, every concubine, represented more than a personal connection. They were bridges of diplomacy, binding different tribes and peoples to his will. Throughout his life, Genghis Khan took wives from many of the territories he conquered. These women were often the daughters of powerful leaders, given in marriage as part of alliances or as tribute. With each union, Genghis tightened his control over the lands he ruled. His marriages served not only as personal unions but as political tools that solidified alliances and weakened rival tribes. Genghis Khan's first and most important wife, Bort, was a symbol of this strategy. Their marriage was not only a personal bond but also a political pact between their clans. Despite his many other wives and concubines, Bort held a special place in his life, and their children would go on to be some of the most powerful figures in Mongol history. But beyond marriage, Genghis Khan understood the power of legacy. He knew that his children, through his wives and concubines, would carry his name and influence to the furthest reaches of the empire. This method of consolidating power wasn't new, but Genghis perfected it on a scale never before seen. Through his lineage, he effectively built a biological empire, one that would continue to grow even after his death. His descendants ruled over vast territories, intermarried with other noble families, and ensured that the blood of Genghis Khan remained a dominant force across the lands. In this way, Genghis not only conquered the world in his lifetime, he ensured that his blood would continue to conquer it long after. Military and strategic legacy. But Genghis Khan was far more than just a prolific father, he was one of the most brilliant military tacticians in history. Born into the harsh Mongolian steppe, he rose from nothing, overcoming betrayal, exile, and loss to unify the warring Mongol tribes under his rule. From there, he forged one of the largest empires the world has ever seen. His success on the battlefield was due to a combination of unmatched leadership, strategy, and adaptability. Genghis Khan revolutionized the art of warfare. His armies were not merely larger than those of his enemies, they were faster, more disciplined, and more ruthless. He used psychological warfare to strike terror into the hearts of his enemies, sometimes sparing entire cities in exchange for their loyalty, while completely annihilating others to serve as a warning to those who might resist. But what truly set Genghis apart was his vision. He didn't just want to conquer land for the sake of conquest, he sought to create a unified empire that spanned continents. His famous legal code, the Yasa, was a testament to his desire for order and stability. Under Genghis, the Mongol Empire was a place where religious tolerance was upheld, trade routes were protected, and knowledge was exchanged freely between cultures. In a world divided by religion, ethnicity, and politics, Genghis Khan stood as a figure of brutal but effective unity. Under his rule, the famous Silk Road flourished, connecting East and West, and allowing for the exchange of goods, ideas, and technologies that would change the world. A lasting cultural impact. The Mongol Empire was more than just a military machine, it was a catalyst for cultural exchange. Genghis Khan understood the value of knowledge and talent. He often spared scholars, artisans, and engineers from conquered lands, incorporating their skills into his empire. This cross-pollination of ideas led to innovations in everything from military tactics to agriculture, many of which shaped the world for centuries to come. His empire was not just held together by fear but by a shared sense of purpose. For the first time, many parts of the world were connected in a way that allowed them to communicate, trade, and learn from one another. Genghis Khan's promotion of meritocracy, where talent and ability were rewarded over birthright, was a radical idea for his time and paved the way for many of the concepts of leadership and governance we value today. Conclusion. Genghis Khan was more than a conqueror. He was a visionary, a builder of empires not just in land but in blood, culture, and legacy. His genetic contribution alone has shaped the lives of millions today, while his military and cultural influence reshaped entire civilizations. His story is one of unparalleled ambition, resilience, and vision. From the windswept plains of Mongolia to the sprawling cities of the modern world, Genghis Khan's influence remains alive. And for the millions who carry his DNA, his legacy is not just a memory, it's written in their very blood. The man who once united the world under his banner continues to live on, in ways he may never have imagined, but perhaps always intended. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Until next time.